Welcome back, everybody, to a new episode of the Point After Podcast short series. Today we'll be covering Rondale Moore and Rashad Bateman and what their return to the Big Ten looks like for the 2020 season. Both of them opted out in order to pursue their NFL draft, combine preparation, and whatnot. With the Big Ten canceling their season, but with the Big Ten coming back, both players have made the decision and been approved to return to action this fall. So you're looking at, for those of you that don't know and aren't too familiar with them, you're looking at two of the top 20 picks in the NFL draft next year. You're definitely looking at first round picks no matter what. There's one projection. I've looked at a couple different mock drafts. Bateman and Moore are around the teens to the 20s. I've seen Moore go as high as 14. I've seen Bateman go as high as 6 to the Dolphins. But, obviously you don't know who's going to draft and what, and that's going to play a big factor into it as well. But, these are two guys that are kind of bring the same firepower, but they are very different in play styles. Bateman's 6'2", 210. Rondale Moore's 5'8", 5'9", 180, somewhere in there. I'm assuming when he gets to the NFL, they'll probably put a little bit of weight on him, put a little bit of muscle, get him up to about 190, because you're still going to have that speed with him and his elusiveness and whatnot. But yeah, you're looking at two first-round guys. I'll start with Rondale Moore, the wide receiver from Purdue, who was an electric as a freshman. And he's played 17 games, I believe, in his career. He missed last season. Missed a lot of the last season due to an injury. I believe he only played in 4 games. But so far in his career, he has 143 catches, 1,600 receiving yards, and 14 touchdowns, not counting what he's done in the run game. That's pretty incredible to only play about a season and a half. He, in 2018, was a freshman consensus All-American. He was the number 1 in receptions in the Big Ten and the NCAA, number 1 in yards in the Big Ten, and number 1 in touchdowns in the Big Ten. I see Rondale Moore fitting in very well with the Bears, Packers, Jets. All those teams need a wide receiver. The Bears have Allen, of course, Allen Robinson. Packers had Devontae Adams, and then the Jets don't really have anybody that just kind of stands out, and the Panthers are really the same way. But on the flip side of that, I can see Rashad Bateman kind of doing the same thing. I could see him going to the Lions, maybe to the Browns to be that big guy to fit in with Odell and Jarvis Landry. Like I said, he's 6'2", 210, but at the same time, I could also see him fitting in with the Bears or the Dolphins too. All those teams lack wide receivers, but to touch on Rashad Bateman, both of these guys came into the league in 2018. Bateman set freshman records at Minnesota for 51 receptions in his freshman year and 704 yards, and was number 2 last year in the Big Ten in receiving yards. He's averaging about 17 yards per catch. He has 111 catches, just under 2,000 yards, and 17 touchdowns. In 2019, he was the number 1 player in the Big Ten in yards per catch. These are two guys that are going to make the Big Ten worth watching this year. You throw in Justin Fields, and it's just going to get even more exciting. I'm really, really pumped about these two wide receivers coming back. I myself played wide receiver in college, so I'm definitely a fan of wide receivers. I keep tabs on wide receivers more than anybody else in college football, and this is a very, very talented draft class where you're looking at these two Big Ten guys. You're looking at Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle, who are going to round out the first round, and a couple other guys you can throw in there. We'll get into that when the time comes, but keep your eye out on Rashad Bateman and Rondale Moore this season. 2 first-round draft picks, arguably could fall in the top 10 depending on who gets those top 10 picks, but nonetheless, I'm excited to see these guys in action this fall, starting in November. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If there's another short series you want us to cover or want us something to cover on the podcast, just leave it in the comment section below. Respect the Raid t-shirts are coming very soon. If they're not out by the time I post this video, definitely starting to respect the air raid movement with it taking over the SEC. I feel like a lot of people are going to jump on the bandwagon. So like I said, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will catch you guys next week.